Hi everyone, I'm Yan and welcome to my table. Fall is in full swing, and what's better to celebrate the season than a loaf of soft pumpkin bread with a delicious pumpkin filling? Want to make a bread that tastes as good as it looks? Then keep on watching. Let's start with the pumpkin. Making pumpkin puree is simple as 1, 2, 3. 1. Open it up and scrape out the seeds and flesh. 2. Cut into small pieces and steam over high heat for 10 minutes. 3. Puree in a blender until completely smooth. Keep the skin on because it's more nutritious and makes the puree more orange. This pumpkin puree can be used in so many different ways, so I always make a big batch and use it throughout the week for breads, steamed buns, muffins, soups, pasta, anything you want. For the bread dough, you'll need make sure to beat the egg before making the dough, as you'll see later. In a large mixing bowl, add milk, yeast, pumpkin, and 80% of the beaten egg. Save the rest of the egg for egg wash so you won't have to open up a new one. Optional but recommended is to add milk powder. If you don't have it, substitute with condensed milk to add richness. Lastly, add in the flour and salt and mix it up with a spoon or a spatula. Once there's no more liquid visible, continue to knead by hand or in a stand mixer and knead on 2 for a couple of minutes or until the dough has come together. Then add in the softened or melted butter and knead the dough to incorporate it within. I often find that doing this by hand is a lot faster than in a mixer. When you've got a unified dough again, knead on speed 2 or 3 for 7 to 10 minutes, or until you have a very pliable dough that is smooth and elastic. Pull it out and form it into a smooth tight ball before covering it to rise in a warm, draft-free place. In the meantime, we make the filling, which you'll need. Basically, combine everything into a pan and slowly cook out the moisture over medium-low heat. This is the same filling from my pumpkin steam bun recipe, so be sure to check that out in the link above if you haven't already. It's important to flip the mixture constantly so it doesn't burn as it cooks. This will take about 10 minutes. After about 1.5 hours to 2, my dough has risen well. Punch out the air and shape it into a ball again. From there, roll it out into a 40 by 20 centimeter rectangle. Halfway through the process, I like to flip it over, making sure it doesn't stick. It also helps to loosen the dough from the surface from time to time and stretch it into a rectangle shape that we want. Now smear the cool pumpkin paste onto half of the rectangle. Spread it out evenly all the way to the edges. And then fold over the other half of the dough to cover the half that has the paste. Use a dough cutter or a knife and cut 1 centimeter wide strips down the folded dough, leaving a 1 to 2 centimeter area uncut on the top. Then, taking one strip at a time, twist it in one direction so that each strip is now a spiral of dough plus dough with filling layered in between. When all the strips have been done in the same way, flatten out the ends and start to roll the entire loaf from the top. Once you get to the end, leave the loaf on its seams and press to compact the shape. Then carefully lift and put this into your loaf pan. Cover and let it rise for the second time. After about another hour, the dough has risen to cover 75% of the loaf pan, and it's ready for the oven. Brush with egg wash from the egg we saved earlier and sprinkle pumpkin seeds on top. Then into a preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes. When it comes out, oh my god, it smells amazing. Freshly baked bread with warming scents of cinnamon and pumpkin. Let it cool down a bit on wire rack before ripping into it. But I couldn't resist. This is truly a great bread recipe. Soft and tender, feathery but not gummy. The pumpkin filling is rich but not overpowering, and the crunchy toasted seeds on top adds such fragrance and contrasting textures. Eat it warm or let it cool down completely and slice it into toasts. Placed in plastic bags in the fridge, it'll keep well for at least 3 to 5 days. Just put it in the toaster before you eat and it'll come right back to life. You'll love this one. As always, go to yagsfamilytable.com for the full written recipe. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more recipes like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.